Imagine an entire colony, over 100 souls, vanishing without a trace. This is the tale of Roanoke. It's a story that begins in the year 1587, when a group of courageous English colonists set sail across the vast Atlantic, full of hope and dreams for a new life, a new world. Their destination? A small, unassuming island off the coast of what we now know as North Carolina. Roanoke. These were not explorers or adventurers, they were ordinary men and women, some with their families, all risking everything for the chance to start anew. They arrived at Roanoke with visions of creating a prosperous settlement, a beacon of English civilization in the New World. They dreamed of bountiful harvests, of peaceful relations with the native tribes, and most importantly, a life free from the constraints they had left behind in England. Their first days on Roanoke were marked with hard work and determination. They built homes, planted crops, and began the difficult task of carving out a life in this unfamiliar land. There must have been moments of joy, of celebration when the first crops were harvested, when the first child was born. Yet, there must also have been moments of fear and doubt, of looking out onto the vast wilderness and wondering if they had made the right choice. But these are all speculations, for the truth is, we know very little about their lives on Roanoke. The historical records are sparse, the personal stories, the daily struggles and triumphs lost to time. What we do know is that these English colonists, over 100 of them, were there on Roanoke Island and then they were gone. But their dreams were short-lived and what remained was an enduring mystery. The colonists, unaware of the fate that lay ahead, bravely ventured into the unknown. The year was 1587, and the New World was a place of hope, a beacon of opportunity that called to these English explorers from across the sea. Yet, the promise of this new land was also tinged with the harsh reality of survival. The Roanoke colonists were not the first to tread on this virgin soil. The land, as beautiful as it was inhabited by native tribes, a people deeply connected to the earth and its cycles. Their understanding of the land was profound, their survival skills honed over generations. Yet, the arrival of these foreigners with their strange customs and alien tools stirred a pot of tension. The colonists, with their limited understanding of the native culture, struggled to find common ground. Misunderstandings were rife, and the relationship was strained from the onset. The environment too was a formidable adversary. The lush forests and the bountiful seas, though rich in resources, were also fraught with danger. Unfamiliar weather patterns, unknown wildlife, and the constant threat of disease were daily challenges that the colonists had to grapple with. In the midst of this struggle, there was one man who stood out: John White, the colony's governor. A man of courage and determination, he was a beacon of hope for the colonists. He was their leader, their guide in this new world. His task was monumental: to ensure the survival of his people in the face of adversity, to navigate the delicate relationship with the native tribes, and to carve out a life in this unknown land. Yet, even in the face of these challenges, the promise of the new world was not lost. The colonists were resilient, their spirit unbroken. They had ventured into the unknown, willing to brave the hardships for the promise of a better life, a promising new land yet teeming with unforeseen challenges. Governor John White, faced with the colony's dire situation, embarked on a fateful journey. As the leader of the Roanoke colony, he was burdened with the survival of his people, and in the summer of 1587, he made the difficult decision to sail back to England. His mission? To secure the vital supplies and reinforcements required to sustain the fledgling colony. The voyage was fraught with danger. The vast Atlantic Ocean was a formidable adversary, its unpredictable weather and treacherous currents making for a perilous crossing. Yet, Governor White pressed on, driven by the desperate hope of safeguarding the future of his colony. His tenacity saw him through the tumultuous journey, and after weeks of hardship, Governor White finally set foot on English soil. But his trials were far from over. Upon his arrival, he was met not with open arms, but with the harsh reality of the Anglo-Spanish War. England was embroiled in conflict, its resources stretched thin. Despite his pleas, Governor White was unable to secure immediate aid for Roanoke. The war had taken precedence, and his quest for supplies was put on hold. Years passed. The war raged on. delaying White's return to Roanoke. The urgency of his mission never waned, but circumstances were against him. His heart ached with the absence of his colony, the faces of his people etched into his memory. He yearned to return, to bring them the aid they so desperately needed. Finally, in 1590, the war subsided enough for White to embark on his return journey. With a heavy heart and a ship laden with supplies, he set sail towards the New World, towards Roanoke. His spirit was buoyed by the prospect of reuniting with his people, of delivering them from their plight. Little did he know, the colony he left behind would be lost in the annals of history. Upon his return, White found the unthinkable, an abandoned colony. Imagine the shock, the disbelief as John White, the governor of the Roanoke colony, stepped onto the familiar shores to find them eerily silent. The homes he had once known, the laughter he had once shared, all vanished into the ether, leaving behind an unsettling quiet. As he moved through the deserted colony, his heart must have pounded in his chest, a dreadful drumbeat echoing the questions that raced through his mind. Where had they gone? What had happened? The thriving settlement he had left behind was now a ghost town, its inhabitants seemingly evaporated into thin air. But the colonists had left a clue. Yes, a single word carved into the rough bark of a nearby tree, Croatoan. A word that has since become synonymous with one of history's most enduring unsolved mysteries. The word Croatoan referred to what we now know as the Hatteras Island, home to a friendly Native American tribe of the same name. But did this mean that the colonists had sought refuge there? Or was it a distress signal, a cry for help etched into the wood? As White scoured the area, he found no signs of a struggle or hurried departure. The buildings were dismantled methodically, indicating that the colonists' departure was planned, not forced. Yet, despite these clues, the fate of the Roanoke colonists remains shrouded in mystery. Was it disease, conflict, or simply a desperate search for better resources that led them to abandon their homes? Or were they, perhaps, victims of something far more sinister? The theories are numerous and varied, each as plausible and perplexing as the next. A ghost colony, a mysterious inscription, and a puzzle that has intrigued us for centuries. The story of Roanoke is a testament to the human desire for exploration and the risks it entails. It serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest mysteries are those that are left unanswered. Hundreds of years later, we are still haunted by the question, what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? As we delve into the abyss of this enduring mystery, we find a plethora of theories, each more intriguing than the last. The most prevalent among these is the theory of assimilation. Could the colonists have merged with the native tribes, adopting their culture, language, and ways of life? This theory has its roots in the word Croatoan, the name of a local tribe, and the sole clue left behind by the vanished colonists. But without concrete evidence, this theory remains as elusive as the fate of the colonists themselves. Then there's the grim possibility of disease or starvation. The harsh conditions of the New World were well documented. Did the colonists succumb to the relentless onslaught of starvation, disease, or both? It's a theory that holds water, but without any human remains or other tangible evidence, it's just another piece in the puzzle of Roanoke. Another theory suggests a mass migration. Did the colonists, faced with dwindling resources and an unforgiving environment, decide to move en masse to a more promising location? If so, where did they go? And why did they leave no trace of their journey? The questions are many, the answers few. The enduring mystery of Roanoke is a web of theories, a maze of possibilities, each one as plausible as it is unproven. Despite the passing of centuries, the lack of definitive evidence leaves us speculating, theorizing, imagining. But perhaps this is the true allure of the Roanoke mystery. It's an enigma that resists resolution, a riddle that defies answers. It's a testament to the resilience of human intrigue, a reminder of our insatiable curiosity. It's a story that, despite its tragic undertones, continues to captivate, to fascinate, and to bewilder. The mystery of Roanoke continues to captivate us, a chilling reminder of the unpredictability of human fate,